microphone, won't you be able to hear me like swallow? If it's literally
No.
like that, then
I think that a lot, but nah.
Okay.
Never. That's never happened yet.
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah, it hasn't happened.
Overthinking it.
Or over swallowing, depends.
Pause.
I know.
No, we can't be.
Come on,
We
man.
can't be
Like, you
starting
didn't
like
need
this.
to do
I
that.
didn't say it.
We
so
all heard it. Like, you could.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Because like I was gonna contribute and say some words myself, but I thought, wait, get in where you fit in. I don't fit in anywhere. Like I don't fit in anywhere. Just quick sip.
Can I have access to the tea, please? Thank you so much. This one?
Sliding. Where?
Thanking you. Ooh, I don't know why I tried to grab the glass. Thank you.
Wait, you're gonna make some sort of tea towel. Oh,
Yeah, I will now.
Anyways, yeah. Welcome to episode 25 of WAWNRT recording this, and yeah.
25. I usually do the gestures.
Yeah,
and-
like I was waiting on them, but no, it's all good. But yeah, today the homie Subz is joining us for the second time.
Yes.
Yeah, for the second time, 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah, but this time round, it's actually Subz the artist, man.
Yes.
We wanna pick
Yes,
your
sir.
brain on
Yes,
Subz
sir.
the artist, man. Let's just kick it, man.
Thank you for having me once again. You know what I mean?
Always.
Officially on the camera.
Much respect.
Thank you for taking charge of the handshakes. I usually don't like a handshake because I don't know where it's going to go.
Right. Yeah, so
my safe space is like an embrace. Because then everyone knows, you know what I mean? You bring it in.
Right.
A handshake, I don't know whether you do the lean or the
you know,
so the fact that you did the hand on top was like...
Right.
I just had a deja vu.
Keep it simple.
I just had a deja vu. Because we had a similar thing. Was it episode, I can't remember what episode, with Moise.
Yep.
I think we spoke about handshakes.
Yeah.
I just had a moment like,
Terrifying.
sorry, I'm just.
See the hand in slow motion.
What do I do?
But no, man, yo, it's been a minute. Well, when I say a minute, it was a minute, and then we linked up, and then
Recently, yeah.
yeah, and then I listened to some music. You have some dope stuff, and then we shot a music video, whereby we're probably gonna show it somewhere here.
Right.
And it's your latest. Do you call it a single?
Yeah, I think because it's not. Yes, this is a single.
Okay.
Titled "The Last Word Bender."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a song I did, I guess, beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the last things I've recorded of late because I haven't done much recording, but I have a lot of you know, music backed up and stuff. But I figured this would be a good way to make a comeback. You know.
Yeah.
Sort of. Well, not really comeback, but you know what I mean. You know, because I have. I have reintroduction, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
reintroduce yourself.
Yeah. So I figured it would be a good single. It's not on any of the projects. It's just gonna be a Lucy, they call it, right?
Yeah, Lucy, just a Lucy, just like
a quick, you know, reminder.
I'm still here.
I'm still out here, you know what I mean?
And to be fair, it's a dope title, The Last Word Bender.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just a play on words. I guess I kind of, you know, when you're rhyming, sometimes you just say
No,
stuff.
I don't rhyme.
Well, you've heard enough to kind of hear sometimes when people are freestyling, you kind of just say things. So it was more so a freestyle. By free, I don't mean off the dome. I just mean no real direction in what I was doing. I was just kind of writing what was...
Bending words.
Yeah, just bending words as much as I could. Yeah. But as I listened to it, you know, then I'm like, oh, there's actually some sort of direction here, you know what I mean? Even though it wasn't intentional, it just kind of came out like that. And when I did mention the whole last word bender thing, it kind of just made sense with everything that I had done already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just kind of stuck, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going with that. You know.
So you said you have music in the chamber currently?
Yes.
Tooled up, ready to go.
Yes,
okay.
I got like couple songs, couple projects.
Yeah.
You know.
So the last time we spoke to you, it was like a case of you just reprioritized things, and so you weren't making as much music as you wanted to make. And then what? How long ago was that?
That was about like start of the year. About start of the year. Because remember, I think we sat down. We had the conversation.
It was last year.
No. This year we sat down on episode 6. We spoke about it, and
was
you said,
this year?
yeah, and you said you slowed down from writing, just prioritizing things.
But you were saying it like you just stopped. Like you were like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, musically, there was not much inspiration going on, I guess. Like, yeah, so I just kind of felt like I came to a stop in terms of producing music, writing music, even though at that time I already had a bunch of songs in the chamber at that time when we spoke anyway. So after that was more so just me fleshing out, like, you know, cutting off the fat, I guess, you know what I mean, and seeing what I want to put out and what I don't want to put out, you know. So that's the process I'm in now. It's kind of like, okay, because I kind of went away from the creative part of it because I just felt like I needed a lot of focus internally and personally and all of these things, you know. So, but now I feel like it's a good time to get back into it. I feel the inspiration.
Yeah, you back on 10.
Yeah. I feel like you know, getting back into the zone.
So what happened there? Let's call it 10 months. This 10-month window when now you sound totally different to when we spoke to you in episode 6. Because then it wasn't a case of like, I'm not doing it, I don't have the passion for it. It was none of that. It was just like, I just have different priorities right now. Yeah. And so the conversation was much more about like your life and what your process usually is. And so in that 10-month time, what do you think there's been like a point of like direct change where you feel like all of a sudden you've like flicked the switch?
Yeah, some sort of trigger. Like, was that maybe woke up one day, epiphany?
I mean, I guess it was like a gradual thing. There was not a specific thing, I guess, that happened, but it was just more so as time progressed, it was me coming into the realization that, because I remember last time, I even kind of touched on this with you.
Well, I'm not recording this, so I was like, no.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to hear it. Keep saying, you know? But yeah.
I do listen, people.
No, he does listen. But yeah, I was just kind of talking about, you know, in the first part, or the first episode we did together, about how I didn't want to bring, I guess, the music into my home and separate and have a clear line. You know, I guess that I kind of have reassessed my thinking when it comes to that. You know, I even gave props to him and you. You were not there. Obviously, I'm giving you your props right now. You know what I mean? Because, because I remember you were adamant about, like, I guess, challenging that thought, I guess, of like, do you really need to separate the two? Is that, you know, and as time went on, I kind of figured it out that it wasn't a good thing. Because I felt like I was, at the time, music is what I do. I've been doing it for so long. It's kind of part of me now. So cutting that out and making it like a
sense of self.
Yeah, a sense of self was kind of lost, and I felt very lost. I guess that was part of the stopping and the, you know, not feeling inspired and stuff, is because I feel like I had stopped my workflow. You know what I mean? The things that I do to kind of get in the zone, which I do that in my personal space. So separating the two, it kind of severed that connection, I guess. So,
of yourself.
Yeah, of myself. And I realized that as time progressed, like, nah, man, you know, giving yourself to a certain life, or giving yourself to someone or an idea, it doesn't mean cutting off who you are.
Sense of self.
You know what I mean? And I realized that as time progressed, that nah, man, I mean, it is who I am, and you know, it has to be who I am all the time, everywhere I go. You know what I mean?
So you find a way
it can't
to
be a
bring that
part-time.
into your-
It's essentially like I'm taking off
finding,
the mask.
this is the process of I actually mentioned that on and you know, it's funny with the song, The Last Word Bender, a lot of things I mentioned there is things that are happening now. Not only in the song, but even in the project, you know what I mean? I feel like I was foreshadowing, is that the word?
Kind of prophetic.
Yeah, prophetic in a way, you know. And I mentioned that as well. It's funny because I was freestyling on that song, but everything I said there resonates with me now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
you planted a seed.
I planted a seed, and when I went back, that's why I felt like perfect time to release this particular song, because it's talking about how I feel right now and where I am, you know, in my headspace and in my heart, spiritually, and all of that.
You know,
so.
it's like you planted the seed and then came back. It's like, oh, actually, it's harvest time.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No,
like
it makes
this,
sense.
this is the time.
This is the
so
crop
when did you create the Last Word Bender? Like when was that made?
Man, that was probably a few weeks before the first part that we did.
Okay.
Together. Yeah, it was probably a few weeks, maybe a month or two of that, but it was around that time. That's when I made that song, and that was the time when I was kind of slowing up on the recording and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, and so within that process of having something that's made already, and then kind of going almost a year before that thing turns to fruition. What does that look like? Like, do you have to do that in your process a lot? Like, do you have, are most of your tracks that you've had to sit with for a bit post them being made in order to like really see if it still resonates with you, or do you put other things out sooner?
I think before, when I was putting out music, which was probably around 2018, 19, maybe even 2020.
Yeah.
It was more so, I just want to get things out. I just want to get this music out. It was no real plan or any...
It wasn't conceptualized as to how you want to do it.
No, not really. It was more so, I just want to get this to the people that want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I came to a realization that, no, man, I need to kind of take time with it. You know what I mean? And so when I started writing this project that I'm talking about now, or these projects, you know, that's when it kind of started making sense to me. Like, oh, this is a full body of work, and it deserves, I guess, the attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of like
the consumerism of producing things
like,
just to feed them to an audience.
Give it its respect.
It needs the time in terms of like the from the production to me listening to it, and you know, going back to refurbish a certain, you know, a few things just to kind of make it concise, you know, and all of these things. So I'm giving it the time it needs, because I feel like there's a lot there.
Cool.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of me there as well. So if I'm going to be putting a part of myself out there, it needs to be in a way where a few years later, when I look back, I'm not regretting, like, I should have put more effort into this and that. Hence, even go on.
No, I was gonna say, but like, do you think that? To be fair, I guess it's the yin and the yang. Because I was gonna say, do you think that hinders the releasing process as well? That you let certain things cook too long? Is that thing as like letting it sit too long? Because like, let me say, going back to listen, I'm sure not every song resonates like it did when you wrote it, or sounds the same because of just like natural progression. Certain things you probably think, I wrote that, but I don't believe that no more. That's not who I am as a person.
But you know what? Actually, no. Because a lot of the things I wrote there, like I said, I was foreshadowing, you know, who I want to be and who I was at the time. Even if I'm listening back right now, even though I'm not fully the person I was then, it's still part of me. It's still part of the journey that I'm in, you know what I mean? So it's like me, it's no different with me telling you about my childhood or whatever. I'm no longer that child that I was, but I could still relay that story, and it can always come back around in different perspectives as I grow, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like I don't resonate with the things I wrote. I feel like I resonate with a lot of the things that I wrote there. Everything pretty much, you know. It's just more so the sonically stuff, you know what I mean? Like the mastering, I guess, like some of the things I feel like, I could have said that better, or I could have, you know, put more effort in this, that, whatever. But in terms of the writing, I feel like it's
still you.
Is there anything you regret saying? Because I listened to this, I listened to Rick Rubin having a conversation with Kevin Abstract, and it's quite an interesting conversation. It's probably the most like therapy session I've seen. Like
I've probably seen that.
I
think I've seen that.
But in that conversation, he talks about how he regrets some of the things that he said, and how some of the things he said were things that were intentionally controversial in terms of trying to get raise that attention up. But in doing so, he'd like brought his family into the mix, and he was talking about like how some of the things that he'd said made his family uncomfortable, and that they never really had conversations about some of the things that he was kind of like writing about and speaking about, because he was trying to put it into a box of like, that's my character performing and this is my character in real life.
Right.
Is there ever been anything that you've written where you felt like it's brought like a real life situation where someone's felt like, is that about me, or is that about?
I mean, I do have a song that I really love.
It starts like that.
And I remember playing this for Nate, though. It's a song that I really love, even though I'm not being specific as to who or what situation I'm speaking on. I feel like if that particular person or people heard it, they would know instantly. So I guess that's, how do I put this? I don't write my music trying to, you know, for shock value.
You're not trying to be controversial.
Trying to be controversial on purpose. Or I've always kind of pulled from, you know, my favorite artists, you know what I mean, with like real people, you know what I mean? Like they put real life experiences into the music. So my experience sometimes, even though it involves other people, it's not more so about the person.
Yeah.
It's always about me and my growth. You know what I mean?
Selfish.
So I don't. Yeah, so I don't intentionally. For example, typically a lot of artists would write about, oh, my teacher, da da da. You know, you said
you're
B
gonna
shit,
be, yeah.
whatever. You know, I don't do things like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's more so like, okay, when my teacher said this, or when this person said this, this is how I.
Or when I heard
you know,
this.
or when I heard this, you know, yeah, that
how
kind
I
of.
felt.
That's how I felt, and this is what
Yeah.
I did, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's more so about me. And my music has always been selfish in that way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I kind of try to mimic the greats. You know what I mean? In terms of like not mimic their sound, but mimic how they
The message, what they're saying.
how they approach
Yeah.
the music. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's not about slandering people. It's not about painting people in any type of way.
Yeah.
But it's more so how that experience changed me, or how
Yeah,
that
it's-
experience
Yeah.
So it's
affected
almost an
me.
expression.
Yeah,
and an
I'm just
outlet.
expressing
Yeah.
myself and using this as an outlet. But I try my best not to write about, you know, my family particularly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I try my best to kind of steer clear from that. And if I am
You
doing
don't want
that,
to confuse that.
yeah, and if I am doing that, a lot of the times, if I'm doing it directly or bluntly, it's more so bigging them up or talking about
Yeah,
positive
yeah.
things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's negative, I will find a way not to shit on them
Implicate
or
anyone.
implicate
Use
anybody.
metaphors, quoting
Yeah, try
metaphors
to
and-
make it creative, man. You know, sometimes you don't. You know, as much as we're expressing ourselves, this is an art.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a sport. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you have to find creative ways
Yeah.
to get your message across without, you know, hurting people on purpose or just to gain clout or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm not about the clout chasing.
It's like a responsibility. Thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
You're gonna put
it's-
stuff out there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be, you know, as
No, to be fair, it's
thoughtful as I can.
yeah.
You know?
No, like what I'm liking about it, it's fun because I'm just like linking to the previous subs that was, you know what, I'm not involving music into this, I'm not
Yeah.
doing this. But now it's like you've actually come back with a whole lot of clarity
Yes.
in terms of also like what you're doing,
Yes.
which is dope to see.
Definitely.
So like, what else are you working on?
Man, it's just music, really. Just working on music, working on putting things out, you know, with you, especially. You know, we need to.
I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done in terms of
Yeah.
just kind of bringing the project to life. I guess that's what I'm, you know.
This will sound awful, but obviously it's not awful. Why Nate?
Why Nate?
Why this man? What do like? What do you? Because it clearly works. But like, why do you like? Is there something about his style that you enjoy that kind of makes sense to you?
Before I
or-
continue, do you mind if I just?
Yes,
put
you
this
may.
in
No.
the same good for the viewers.
Yeah, just chill. Should we call it a tea break?
Nah, I'll just toss it wherever I'm tossing it.
It's just human, isn't it? Do you know sometimes when the chewing gum is just done and you're like, this is just blubber. at this
Yeah,
point.
now
This is
at
not
this point,
nice
it's
anymore.
not gonna look good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. What was the question?
Why Nate? In terms
Why
of
Nate?
is like you guys have been making the music. Nate's been visualizing like a lot of the stuff. Is there something about his style that kind of makes sense to you or resonates with you or makes sense to like the music you're producing?
So I feel like with me, or I know, not feel, but know, a lot of the people I work with, a lot of the times, are brought to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or not by anybody else, but just by whatever.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's how I view it. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
your
Feeding him the answer.
say this.
What about this that I do?
Yeah, so I feel like with Nate, even how we met, you know what I mean? I always tell him that story. I probably told him twice, 3 times now. Like, when I seen him at Green Island
Yeah, Green
Festival.
Island Festival.
Yeah, when I seen him, I was like, nah, man. Nah, this guy's from where I'm from, you know. That's how it started, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
then I just kind of walked up to him and I was like, yo, and he was like, yo, and then the energy was right. We linked up after that, and after that, and after that.
Yeah.
And then, because at the time, I didn't know he did videos or whatever, you know what I mean? He was a photographer at the time.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
he
yeah,
just
yeah. I
did
was
photography
actually
or
videoing
whatever.
and taking photos. I was doing
Videoing,
both.
but I didn't think he does like music videos. Or whatever,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it wasn't that. But as our relationship kind of got, you know, grown and whatever, we kind of just started talking about that. A lot of interest, you know what I mean? A lot of our interests are aligned
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, a lot of our outlook on life, I guess. And I learn a lot from him in conversation and stuff, you know. So I figured just visually, that will be interpreted within the visuals. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. I felt like the synergy there is great. So if we get to do things, if we could take this energy and, you know, transfer it into the art, you know what I mean? I feel like it will resonate, you know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah, so that's pretty much.
You said resonate. I mean, I thought those were play on words.
So yeah, I just felt like, oh, I didn't catch that.
That's why I thought I'd just draw out just in case he was listening.
I'm not a rapper.
And he's not a rapper. But yeah, that's a lot of the people I work with, even with the beat production, with where I record or how I record, usually it's like, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
I don't headhunt people or, oh, I like your style. It's more so like on a personal level. Because I feel like with my music, it's very personal as well. I take my art seriously in that way.
Yeah.
So I don't like muddying it with
hand-picking.
Yeah, like hand-picking random people just because, you know what I mean? Like if it works out that way, then that's great. You know what I mean? I would rather the universe guides, you know what I mean, that situation, because I feel like my music is very spiritual in that way. Like I said, I did a lot of foreshadowing in my songs and stuff, and just kind of realizing like the responsibility that I have, you know what I mean, and in this thing. So I can't play with it, you know what I mean? So even when it comes to the people that I work with, it has to come from a genuine level, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's why I fuck with you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
See the handshake you just did? How did you know? How did you know to go?
Like I said, you know what I mean?
And
like,
then at the same time, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, because I would have been like,
it just happens.
It ends with like a double finger point.
Start exploding.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's pretty much why I fuck with Nate on that level.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's been working so far. You know what I mean? I feel like I love everything that we've done so far, and I've got high hopes and you know.
Ooh, high hopes.
High
hopes, mad expectations. We have an interesting relationship.
Mad expectations. Like, I'm joking. I just feel like what we're gonna do is gonna be great, man. You know what I mean? Like we're still gonna do more great things, and I feel like we're at a point where, I guess, individually within our arts or, you know, respective arts or whatever, like we are not at the beginning stage as such, but it's more so like the inception of like, okay, he just started doing music.
Yeah, in the documentary which follows your career.
You know what I mean? And I'm in the beginning of like, okay, taking my shit seriously too. So I feel like that drive will kind of just...
Yeah. Nate, same question to you about working with Subz.
I'm an energy.
Did I say too much?
No, you didn't. It didn't, like, I mean, I'd essentially say as above. Or as mentioned, like, cool dude, man. Like that's I
think that's where it should start.
It's a weird.
But then when you get down to the specifics, because when you're making music videos, you're spending a lot of one-on-one time together. There's a delicate balance that it can tip this way or this way, because you can quickly realize that you're not on this that you're not on the same page, even with tiny little things. So in terms of like giving direction and receiving direction, because you're such a performer in front of a camera that it's almost like look away, like it's just too much. Like you're so good at performing in front of a camera, I don't understand how that's even humanly possible.
I appreciate that.
So good in front of a camera.
I appreciate that.
Like everything you do is so cool, but then also with directing, you're not a harsh director, but it's very specific with what you want, and it's like you can say in the most seamless way, nah, do it again. Like do the whole thing again when you start from scratch. It wasn't quite right.
I think there's ways. I think because there's respect there, it's kind of easier to you know, when we get there, you know, then we can discuss it. You know, like, oh man, I feel like here, you know, we find a way to get to a point where we're both happy, because at the end of the day, we want the same results. We want this to be dope. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. So everything else is kind of out the window. When it comes to art, it's about the dopeness of this thing. Is it going to be ill? Is it going to be sick? You know what I mean? If not, I don't like this, why don't you like it? You know what I mean? You can't just say you don't like, why don't you like, what's the issue here? You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I feel like because the respect is there, information is received easier. If he doesn't like something, he could say it, and I hope he feels that way, because I feel that way. If I didn't like something, I would be like, oh man, I think this ain't the same. You know what I mean? And he will ask why, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know, and we fix it if we're fixing it. If we're not, we're not, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But we always find a
way to
middle
communicate.
ground. I think as long as respect is there, that's it.
Yeah, no, like to piggyback off that pause, like I'd agree. I think it's the fact that we operate from an element of respect first of all.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I acknowledge your existence and acknowledge your perspective and your thoughts and how you do things and your own conditioning. But as long as you acknowledge mine, because there are habits that I have that you're probably not gonna like or you're probably gonna like, but you gotta accept them because that's me, P. Like I'm not gonna necessarily try act a certain way. But at the same time, there's also the element of openness to learning. In the sense of, you know, like I feel like we both share this thing of let's explore life and let's just live. So it's like, you know, let's do it. So like example, the music video that we did show at some point, like just a glimpse of it. It's like I got there, it was raining, we thought it wouldn't rain. But like the good thing is coming back to frequencies, we both like, nah, let's just wait it out, see what happens. And then when we went outside, both of us were like, yo, I was like, yo, come check this out. It's glistening perfectly. So that's what I mean. So about frequencies, because if maybe it was someone else, maybe someone would have been like, yeah, it's raining, let's not do it. But as far as with my curiosity, it's like, things happen for a reason. So can I at least like explore a little further to see maybe this happened for a reason for it to actually look dope to work in our advantage?
Because that attitude doesn't work one way. Because one way it's just sort of like, nah, like we're not, this is pointless, this is not doing it. So it has to be reciprocated. So like you saying, but I want to see because I'm curious. You also have to be curious to be like, do you know what? I am too, so I quite like that.
Because sometimes it's like you can have what you want to do, you know what I mean, and then there's what has to happen. You know what I mean? So you have to leave room for what has to happen, you know, and that's, I feel like that's pretty much what you're saying. It's like you have a vision, I have a vision. We told ourselves this is what we're gonna do, and then God was like, nah, you know, let's make it like, okay, we'll wait it out and see what this is, you know what I mean, and then it was perfect, you know, for the video and stuff. So I feel like you have to leave room for what needs to happen.
And respect the universe essentially. So I feel like there's that respect of the universe, like yo, things happen for a reason. So even if I say, yo, I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock, then I'm there at 9:30. There isn't a, yo, man, I've been waiting.
It had to happen that way. You know
exactly.
what I mean? So
that's how things unfold.
So
so it's like there's a huge element of respect. And also, whenever we're working, it's fun.
Exactly.
It's fun. Like that's like the basis of it. It's just fun. So it's like we're both expressing ourselves. It's like, yo, do this and that. Don't worry about me. But one thing, you gotta do ABC. Just the checkpoints as far as anything else. Live that song, live those lyrics, have fun with it. And then
do our thing.
He does his thing. He's a great performer. I'm just there. I'm just.
Y'all heard that, right? Great performer. I hope.
True.
Hope we heard that.
So can we explore some of your music and have that conversation?
Yes, definitely. I think that would be dope, you know? Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
A quick deep dive.
I would love a deep dive on it.
I mean, we would play it for y'all, but YouTube and rules, but we will be back. Actually, sorry, I was thinking. So see the music part. We're just going to do a countdown of 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, and then back on the pod. Because when you pause, it's like, how long do I pause it? So if you listen on Spotify, it's quite confused, like, wait, are they going to be back anytime soon?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Because we go for a music break, and then we usually tell the audience to pause it while we go listen. So if you listen to Spotify...
No, but we only say pause it and like go and watch, like just grab whatever we're listening to right now and go, oh, right, I know what you mean. Pause it and listen to the track. Can they listen to your track right now, or is it not? Is it available to listen to now?
Oh, it's not available now. No.
No, there's other music though, but like, you know,
I think we're gonna cut this bit. Are we gonna cut this bit?
Yeah, we're gonna. I'll see what it looks like because sometimes it makes me laugh. I'm like, yo, I'm keeping it. But yo, we'll be back in 3, 2, 1, and we back. Actually, do you know what?
We're back.
We're gonna be listening to multiple tracks because we just listened to one and actually watched the music video. You all had the pleasure of actually watching it, a snippet of it at the start. But yeah, that's the one we're just listening to and watching. But you know, watching it back now, there was a lot of Godspeed moments. Like even there's a lot of parts that's
there's
like,
certain shots that we wanted, but I guess on the first try we remember what we said on the first try. I guess the performance was great, but we just didn't capture the right moments that
we
wanted.
didn't hit the checkpoints.
The checkpoints, yes.
Because it's a one take. Remember, we spoke about one takes recently. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, the one like the certain checkpoints that we needed to hit, we just didn't hit them the first one.
Okay.
And then second one, raining. So we did halfway. Third one, we asked for help, which was really appreciated. Fourth one,
perfection.
That's when we nailed it.
This is number 4.
Yeah, this is number 4.
Perfection.
It was just like, alright, cool.
The way the lights hit the water, it was just like it just came
glistening.
out more depth, I guess, than the first tries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we had said we were only going to do 3. Remember?
Yeah, we said we were only going to do 3.
Did 3.5, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
The third one was really dope, but I feel like we didn't hit the checkpoints because, like I said, it's funny because once again, coming back to working with him, that's what kind of helped. It's the fact that it's like, yo, at this point, this is what would like to be happening, and then at this point, this is what will be happening. At this point, I'll be here, you'll be doing this, and then it's like, like that's what I'm like fully understanding.
Knowing your role at that moment, like do this, we do, okay, cool, and then go.
And then we did.
It's like we were on a set. That's what I said. Like it's like we were actually on a set, but it's like
it was
So
really
you had like a route that you were kind of following, and you both knew what was going on, because it doesn't feel like that. I mean, it looks like that, but it feels like you were just doing your thing.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't feel like there was much like in the way of like stage direction there, but there clearly was. Even the shot that kind of pans into you being back at home.
Yeah. See,
and even that last shot was supposed to be kind of different too. Like I remember, I wanted like the wife and kids there too, like to have that moment of like coming home.
What time was it? Like past midnight?
Way past bedtime. Like,
because she waited. She was like, "Yo, Nate's not coming."
And then we're thinking, "Yo, God's me."
The first baby's gone. Second baby down. I'm out too. Like I'm not waiting. All right, cool.
So in terms of the track itself, what is it that you're talking about? Or what is the message that you're trying to convey?
Okay, so a lot of the times I realize the meaning of what I said in hindsight. You know what I mean? So even with, that's why I say it, I feel like sometimes it just comes to me. I'm just like given, okay, do this, and I do it. And then when I look back, I'm like, damn. So even the whole last word bender thing, I'm a big fan of The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's a play.
Which a lot of people know about, know that cartoon or whatever, the anime. But yeah, so his whole thing is like, I guess, trying to find his higher self, you know what I mean, in order for him to be aligned with his gift and his purpose, you know what I mean, which his gift is him being the airbender, the avatar, right, in order for him to, I guess, save the world, from the world's evils or whatever. So the whole song is about, I guess, me finding my higher self in order to walk in my purpose, in order for me to serve and save my family. You know what I mean? Hence I speak about my wife and kids and all of this stuff, and being stuck in the whole 9-to-5 situation where it's like, man, this is daunting, you know what I mean? Because this ain't who I am, you know what I mean? So I need to find a way to reach my higher self, because I feel like my higher self, when I'm in my, it's a long story, because I also quit weed, by the way, and in me quitting weed.
I'm joking.
Carry on, because what you're about to say was going to be so...
No. I was joking. Pardon my brain.
So yeah, I used to partake, in the
herbal remedies.
But I got to a point where I had to kind of let that go. And in me letting it go...
Good for you, by the way.
Thank you. I realized that, in me chasing, well, not chasing as such, but because I didn't know or think that's what I was doing, because when you're just getting high, it's more sort of a recreational thing. But when I'm now faced with like, trials and tribulations and stuff, I guess it ended up becoming like what do you call it?
Vice.
Yeah,
escape.
An escape sort of, you know what I mean? Like from, but also at the same time, me chasing that high is subconsciously me reaching out to my higher self, I guess. Because even when it came to writing sometimes, it's like, I want to smoke first and then get in my zone or whatever. But it's like, I could reach that without without the weed because I was doing that before the weed or whatever, you know what I mean? Probably reach higher. You know what I mean? So that's the whole me when I speak on, you know, finding my higher self and my purpose and all these things. It's without all of these crutches, or I guess, right?
Because you can hear the conflict.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the doubt as well.
And there's so much doubt, and there's so much inner conflict that it becomes such a relatable track. But then, as you listen to it, and as the whole track develops, there's like a confidence. In fact, you know what? There's like a vein of confidence all the way through it. Yeah. All you're doing is noticing the conflict. It doesn't feel like you're asking out to people who are listening to the track, like. Because there's a point where you ask, like, is rapping really worth it? But even how it's said, isn't you genuinely asking the question? It's just like, nah, I've just been to that place where I've questioned that. Exactly. But look at me right now, like, look what I'm doing. So the conflict is there, but I think it's a very relatable conflict because you're doing the thing that you're having the conflict about, which I think is really cool to see. So, like,
and in the moment when I'm doing it, I'm not realizing what you're saying because it's more so just me doing it because that's how I feel in the moment. I just feel like these words need to be said. But sometimes
was it hard to write? How many takes did it take to write?
I mean, I don't rewrite lyrics, by the way. So I'm not the type to write and scratch out. If I have nothing to say, I leave it. I come back after 7 days or whatever, and I continue that. So
you just add on to it.
I just add on to it because I feel like if I wrote it down, I meant it. You know what I mean? Like,
you wrote it down for a reason.
I wrote it down for a reason. So, you know, sometimes it might not come out if I feel like it's not worth it. You know what I mean? But if I feel like in that moment it's true to who I am, I leave it as it. So I've never rewritten anything.
Wow.
Everything I've ever written, I've never like, oh, let me write this line this way. I just write.
So you will have a lot of songs that just never really turned into anything. But what you won't have is like a lot of tracks that are frustrating because you couldn't quite nail what you were trying to say. You'll just have like discarded tracks that were never supposed to be.
I don't bother when it comes to
That's
cool. Because a lot of people, writer's block, this, that, and the third. Like, I've never really had that. To me, I don't look at it as writer's block, per se. It's more so, okay, I don't have anything to say now, so I'm going to leave it. Even if it's just 2 bars, like, you know, 2 lines, I'll leave it at that. Come back a week later or whatever, you know what I mean? I'll be listening to different beats because that's how I write. I write to, like, instruments, you know, because instruments kind of bring out that emotion, I guess, of whatever it is I'm trying to convey. So I could write, like this song particularly, I wrote it probably to like 7 different instrumentals, you know what I mean? And it took me a while to write it, probably like a week, 7 days, you know what I mean? That's how I write.
Now that you bring that up, I feel like certain parts of how your rhyming scheme actually, like, there's a lot of sense made in how you rhyme. Not that I'm going to start picking out lyrics, but it's not your typical...
You can pick out lyrics.
No, it's not your typical da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. I think it sounds like there's a lot of double timing on the lyrics, if it makes sense. It's like you're going to say the bar, you're going to think it's going to rhyme this time. It's actually going to rhyme on the 3rd line.
That's to keep shit interesting, man. You keep things interesting, man. Because I also don't like that, you know what I mean? Like it becomes too easy and it becomes mundane as well. It's like, ABC, you rhyme bad with cat. Okay, cool. You rhyme cat with hat. Okay, cool. But it's like, even if you do that, do it in a way where sometimes it's not, you know what I mean? Like, okay, my favorite writer in hip hop is MF Doom, like, of all time.
I was going to bring him up a second ago. Like,
that's like, for me, that's the epitome of like, because his lyricism is like water. It's like, it just flows. Like, you don't know where it's going to go, but it's going. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing.
But there's a lot of bat with cat and cat with hat. And there's a lot of really simple
but it's
things.
It's not how you thought it was going to be, I guess. So
it's not as streamlined. It's like there's waves that are crashing this way, they'll take them that way, take them that way.
Simple, but not
the rhyming
simplistic.
scheme itself is so simple, but how it's delivered is like, wait,
it's complex,
what?
But he's saying simple things. So I try to do that as well. Like, just keep it simple. You know, at first I used to be the whole, you know, trying to put the biggest words there, you know, all of these things. But I realized it's like, hey man, it's like at the end of the day, I'm not talking to like professors or talking to even some of these things that I'm writing about. I don't even use these words on a daily basis, you know what I mean?
It ain't me.
You know what I mean? So that kind of made my writing process a bit more harder, I guess, because it's like now I have to use the simple words that we use every day, but make it interesting. You know, tell stories using these simple words that we all know.
Yeah, but also it's like
stuff like
it's the delivery, because even like what Katie was saying, like your response to that rhetorical question, essentially, it's funny because you actually switch up the whole flow and delivery. So it's like, yes, it may not rhyme, but the whole delivery, it's almost like rhyming on a mood rather than it's like, taking you on the mood journey rather than
like the lyrical. I guess the rhyme
lyrical
scheme.
miracle.
Yeah, it's not about the lyrical miracle spiritual.
Sorry, why?
But I'm not a rapper.
I'm not a rapper. I'm just familiar. Like,
it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about the story. It's about the emotion. It's about, and I had to learn that. Because when it comes to creating music, you find yourself in the music. That's what I realized. It's like music kind of helped me find myself as well. You know what I mean? So if you listen to a lot of the songs I wrote before this song, you know what I mean? You can kind of feel, you can feel it going there. You know what I mean? In terms of like, this is where I was going with it this entire time. I was trying to find this, and I finally found this. You know what I mean? And even with me writing in my language as well, it brought me to that. You know, from this, I started writing in my language more. You know what I mean? As well, like, because that's who I am. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, I'm not only talking to English-speaking people. You know what I mean? I'm also speaking to people that speak my language as well. And I feel like in that way, I can reach more people because it's like, I'm being honest, I'm staying true to who I am, you know what I mean? So I don't have to hide behind anything.
You're not pandering.
Hence, the first line, I took the mask off, which literally I did, because in the beginning, I used to have a mask, you know what I mean? And I guess that mask, what it represented, I didn't know at the time, but I guess it represented the whole doubt and like being fearful to be myself, being fearful to, hence also a lot of the music hasn't came out as well, you know, because that whole like, will people like this or not? But it's like at the end of the day, man, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, you know what I mean? Like I hate saying that, but it's true, you know what I mean? It's like,
you try and please everyone.
Like,
you just kind of lose just making pop music.
I'm not here to please everybody, but I'm here to entertain, I guess, because it is the entertainment industry or whatever. But also at the same time, I'm here to express myself. And I'm here to push the envelope, push the art. You know what I mean? Like push hip hop. Like that's and that's what hip hop is. It's about finding yourself, and it's about spiritual growth. It's a lot of things in one, you know. And I don't like it when rappers just become rappers and they're not partaking in the hip hop of it. You know what I mean? Like, because hip hop is more so like the lifestyle of it. With me, you know, taking it back to what I said about, I guess, finding a way to reconcile, you know, the artist in me and the you know, I guess the family man, the father, the brother, the son, you know what I mean, to my people, you know, reconciling that. It's like, that's what it's about. It's about finding that balance, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of, it's very meaningful to me, man. Like music, I had to accept that and accept who I am, you know what I mean, and be bold in that as well, you know, to kind of also, I guess, inspire people out there that are also trying to be themselves but finding it hard to do that because they have to remain in these like social norms, or
there's a certain role they need to play of some sort.
It's like you don't have to be any type of way, you just have to be yourself, you know. And
okay, you know what, we're gonna move on to the next track and we'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Oh, that was lovely. Okay.
Yo, y'all getting me emotional over there, man. Yo.
That's what we do.
Hey, man.
That's what we do.
And we're back. Yeah, this is different. We're taking a different like track of the track of
crazy
the track.
times.
To be fair, I think this is how we should do album reviews, but that's a conversation for a different day. But one thing that I want to say, it's like the range in your production, like. Who typically produces for you? Do you have like one set person?
Hey man, that's what was my question.
Was it?
Step back.
Oh. Hey.
Like,
hey. I could, you know what I mean? I could give y'all space too. You know?
No, this never happens. Like, damn, okay. Like usually it's just like, hey, you asked the same question, but today we're beefing about it.
Come on, man.
But now, man, like, ask your question.
You asked your question.
No, but yeah, man, like, because I'm gonna go back to what you were saying. It's like, certain people you meet, and then like just like us too. So it's like majority of the videos that are gonna come between now and the near future are gonna be essentially from me, unless there's someone else planned. But it seems like you work with individuals for longer spurts. But in terms of your production, is it like that, or
like I said, exactly like that. So with this song in particular, which is All Spark, coming out soon.
Nice.
So with that song, it was produced by my boy that I grew up with, like since we're like 6 years old. I've known him since I was 6. Since we were both 6. Born on the same month as well. He was born on the 17th. I was born on the 19th. So 2 days apart, same year as well.
It's sync when you need them.
Sorry
to tell us about the birthday.
No, that's for people that are into
astrology, because that's what that's what we had on the last pod.
So I just thought I should throw that in there. But yeah, so it's my boy. He used to call himself Optimistic. Now it's Eli Locks. Sick guy, man. So basically, our parents worked together, still work together, you know what I mean? So
nice.
we were together all the time, you know what I mean? Church, birthdays, all of that stuff, family.
He was your right-hand man.
Yeah, he lived down the road. Like most of the things I've experienced in life, we kind of experienced together. As a four, four of us were kind of like a close-knit, you know? Yeah, so a lot of the first times was with those boys, So we used to all rap, and he was, funny enough, he was the rapper growing up, you know what I mean? He was like sick with the freestyles and all of that stuff, So we kind of got into music, at the same time. And then as we kind of parted ways in life, we kind of carried on individually in what we were doing. So he went to Cape Town, UCT, University of Cape Town, did a lot of rap there, like battles and whatnot and stuff like that. But he was also into like production and stuff. He actually started the production late, maybe 2019, recent,
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he would be sending
Okay, all right.
Very recent. So he'd be sending me
He's got an
things.
ear.
He'd be sending me things like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think? I'm like, oh, you're producing now. Oh, cool. And then I'll be sending him like, the raps and stuff, freestyles, and he's like, yo. And I didn't want to say this, but you're actually a better rapper than me.
Finally accepted it.
I think you can handle that now. So he just started like sending me mad beats, He won't like that I said that, by the way, but I had to say it, bro. But yeah, so he just started sending me mad beats, and then he sent me like, okay, so this project, he probably produced half of it, like 60% of it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
15 tracks.
Yeah, a lot of the significant songs he produced, that I feel like a lot of the songs that are very personal, because he kind of found a way to, because he knows what I'm into. We grew up together, so he knows what chords to kind of hit in order to get that out of me, I guess. He didn't know he knew that, but the beats he was sending me was pretty much...
Did you think that was just like the unwritten side of maybe the birthdays? That's where astrology comes into play.
I think it was
and
unwritten
also just
sure.
Even just the frequencies that you operate in.
Unwritten for sure, because like, we're into the same type of music anyway, you know what I mean? And we used to share music, we still share music together and stuff. He's based in South Africa, by the way. So yeah, he just kept sending me stuff.
So you're doing everything remote?
Yeah, everything is through emails, the emails, WhatsApp, emails, whatever, like it's online and stuff. But yeah, so he sent me that and I wrote that and recorded it, sent it back to him. He did the vocals as well. Those vocals you hear in the beginning, that's him. He did that, sent it back, and we just kept sending things back and
It's like,
forth.
I know you rap better than me, but can you harmonize Can you harmonize that?
So yeah, he's sick, man. He's sick. Right now, he's not doing, too much production right now, but... Yeah.
Oh, change that if you're watching right now, because for 2019, that was 4 years of producing.
Yeah.
That was cold.
Thank you. On his behalf.
Yeah, from both of you. You can both take that.
Yo, he's sick, man. He's sick, man. But yeah, that's my boy, man. That's my boy.
Okay, so is the last track that we listened to from the same project?
No.
As this track? Because they feel very different to each other.
They're very different.
There's like there's a darkness within this track, just in terms of like sounds and all that kind of stuff. Like how do you describe?
So I feel like with this project, oh man, this project is very near and dear to my heart, man. Because it's pretty much my first full-fledged project. Everything else that I've done was pretty much like snippets. You know what I mean? I've always been trying to make this.
So this is conceptualized. That's what you're saying.
Yes. So
it's a body of work.
Yes, this is a body of work at 15 songs.
And you're not using the word album here. You're using the word project.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know these terms anymore. People keep changing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's just a label, ultimately.
It's
It's just
an album. I don't care, man. It's just a dope
nice
project.
answer. I like that.
You know what I mean? If you want to call it an album, call it an album. If you want to call it a mixtape, call it that. You know.
Portfolio.
But it's just it's a fire project.
It's a body of work.
Yeah. And my whole drive was to, I guess. Okay, I was influenced by the, 2010, 2012, 2013 school, you know what I mean, of the people that came out during that time, the Kendricks, the Joeys, the J. Coles, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
how they do their albums was very or mixtapes at the time, because they were not doing albums like that, they were just doing mixtapes. But they felt like albums, you know.
Yeah.
So that was my whole thing.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Night
They
Lights.
kind of were albums. Just with a different name,
1999, you know what I mean? Like all of these things is like amazing, you know. So that's pretty much that was my drive. It's like, okay, I want to do something that's like that, where it's just me, you know what I mean? And I want to see how far I can take it without like I guess like labels or label backing or you know, all of the stuff. Like I just want to do it by myself with my people and see how far I can take it.
Control.
Yeah, be fully in control and not have too much influences as to what kind of song I should make and all of this stuff. So yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think that's what makes debut albums really good?
Yes.
Because it's
100%.
untainted by anything in the industry.
It's selfish. Debut albums are very selfish. People are like, I just want to do dope music that I like. And that's what resonates most of the time, because it's like, when you're doing that, you're okay. People realize you're being honest. So it kind of taps into that within them. You know what I mean? Like they can feel that honesty. They can, you can hear it like, oh man.
You're not
like,
trying to pander.
Yeah, and also, I guess, I guess that's what it is, And then as time progressed, people start trying to please this market.
It becomes
so it's like,
pop.
oh, this was a hit.
It just
so
turns into pop. You're just trying to satisfy
again.
so many elements of pop culture.
Yeah.
Who's it actually for anymore?
Exactly.
Because so many elements of like pop culture and the things that like societal norms. If you speak to people one-on-one, they're usually like, yeah, I disagree. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's very surface level. So. I don't know, people getting their little grubby little mitts involved.
So money making.
The sequel's never as good as the one before,
Only the greats can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only the greats
can
can
keep
keep
it. Yeah, I should say never. I'm talking even like films, anything that's kind of has a part two. And the third one
becomes watered down.
Throw the third one in the bin. But if they can do it correctly,
I was planning a trilogy, but fair enough. I'm just gonna make it a double disc.
If it's done with other hands in a way.
Yeah,
I like trilogies.
No, but I think, like you were saying, I think it comes down to how it was actually formed.
Yeah.
If it was premeditated, you can tell, rather than something that was sporadic in terms of they received it well.
Yeah.
Let me try repeat it again.
If you're trying to make money from it, if you're trying to take something from it, the audience can feel it. It doesn't matter how much you try and disguise it. The audience can feel it, or they can't, and they buy into it, and it works. I don't know.
No, I mean, I just think it's good to be honest in your music.
I agree.
By honest, I don't mean like you spilling the beans on this, that, and the third. No, I just mean like honest as to what you like. As to what you find dope, what you think is sick. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, if you're trying to, because I fell in that loop as well. Not fell in it as such, but I let it bring me down a lot, because it's like, even during the production of this, I had the whole thing of like, oh man, people are going to question this. It's not trappy enough. It's not drill enough. It's not you know what I mean? Like, I had a lot of that going on, but also at the same time, I kind of still rose above it, because I was like, hey man, at the end of the day, this is me. This is dope. You can't fault me for the bars. You can't fault me for the, you know what I mean? I had a whole checklist, like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you can't fault me for these things, I'm cool, you know what I mean? Because at the end of it, like we said, it is a sport, it is an art, you know what I mean? And we're trying to push the envelope. So there's certain checkpoints you have to hit, you know what I mean? So as long as I hit those things that I find interesting or that I like about hip hop or whatever, what influenced me, if I can hit those marks, everything else is a bonus to me, you know what I mean? So and I feel like with this project, I kind of, I kind of nailed it, man. I kind of aced it, If it was a test, this is definitely A+, So Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I love that you just said that, and you mumbled that a little bit. But it's an A+.
I'm just going to change it up a
Say
little
it.
bit.
A plus,
Say
definitely
with your
A plus,
chest.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
Nah, say A plus.
I don't think we say that
sure.
enough about our own work, because
For
we're
sure.
always super critical and we're always super
Yes.
harsh. But like, if you think you've done a great job, own it.
Yeah, no, it's an A plus for
Tell
sure,
you've
man.
done a good job.
For
you know?
sure.
Love
Do
that.
you give the producers direction?
Sometimes. So, okay, it's easier to give direction when it's someone I resonate with, someone I respect, you know, someone I'm in, I guess, you know, if we have a sort of like vibe. But if it's just a beat that was sent to me, like, oh, do this on this, a lot of the times it doesn't really come out right. But if it's like, if we're working together actively, you know what I mean? If you send me something, I write something, I have an idea, oh man, what if you do it this way? And then I could add this, send it back, and then he does that. And, you know, and it's like a quick return as well, because sometimes you don't want to ruin the moment by taking too long, you know. And a lot of people, especially when you're working like from different places, it kind of ruins the moment of the song or the creative moment, you know, because it's like, okay, I have an idea to do this. If you take long to send it, I'm already on to the next idea, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to bring my brain back into this moment and be like, oh, okay, well, how did I want to do it again? You've lost it now, you know. So with this project, a lot of the guys, especially my boy Eli Locks, you know, it was like that, you know what I mean? It was like a quick return, like, okay, he will send me this, I do it, send it back to him, he does it, send it back, you know what I mean? Like within a week we're done with it.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. You say quick return, how long?
Yeah, in terms of like responding to the emails and like sending back the idea that I want, you know what I mean? I'll do it this way, okay, you'll do it. How does this sound?
So you're both in the zone
Yeah,
at the same
we're
time.
both in that moment, because
Hard
he's
to
also
do
feeling
remotely.
inspired as well. Like, oh man, this is, because a lot of the things he wasn't expecting, a lot of like the marks that I hit, he didn't expect that as well, because like I said, I didn't say this, but I haven't seen him in a while, you know. So even like rapping and stuff, my rapping ability and stuff, he had no idea.
Yeah, so it's both of you
that
going
level.
into the unknown.
So, and I also had no idea he was this dope when he came.
okay.
You know what I mean? So it was like
Goalposts
a moment of like, oh damn, okay. And then we did like 7-8
really
songs,
nice.
like within 2 months, 3 months kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was very quick, you know.
And so this body of work is like it's like a celebration of that.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a celebration of that, you know, that synergy, that
also
energy.
just a nice timestamp.
Yeah, it's a nice timestamp, and also a lot of like the personal songs, like I said, were done by him. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's only the person.
He knows he even knows those situations that I'm talking about as well, and you know, some of the people that I might be speaking of might or might not be speaking about. You know, he kind of know. Oh, what are you talking about? So yeah, that's I guess. That made it very exciting for the both of us. You know?
Yeah, I'd assume that also makes it fun for you on the writing side once you've received it. So let me see if he's gonna catch this.
Exactly, because he's a rapper, like I said, you know what I mean. So a lot of the things I'm writing, he catches a lot of the things that other people don't catch. You know, like if I'm playing it for like my girl or playing it for, she'll be like, oh, that's nice. But she didn't catch.
It's like, that's a double entendre.
You didn't catch that bar, you know. So with him, he catches everything, and he's like, "Wow, bro, did you actually say this?" And that gives me the energy to keep, you know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, okay, how do I top that? Because that's what.
Yeah. So there's an element of pushing each other within this
the
realm.
respective, you know. Beat making, rapping, because I was pushing his limits as well. Like a lot of the things he did, he had never done before as well, you know. So, you know, I'll tell him I wanted it to sound like, you know, remember when Kanye did this? He knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows that moment because we shared it together. You know what I mean? That first time we heard, what's that album? Graduation. You know what I mean? We were together when we heard it for the first time. You know what I mean? When we heard Kid Cudi for the first time, we were together. So when I tell him, remember Man on the Moon, this, that, he's like.
It's not the track you're talking about. It's not necessarily the track of the album you're talking about. It's the feeling.
It's the feeling. Yeah. So you say less.
It's hard to say that with a stranger, with someone who's just producing beats.
Exactly.
It's like, how do we know what you was
How do you
doing?
know what I'm
like,
saying? Exactly.
What's your name?
So with him, that's what makes this project very special, because of the creation of it was very exciting. You know, and man, it was amazing. It was an amazing time.
All right, we're going to move on to the next track.
Yes,
and
sir.
We'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Whoa.
Cut it!
I hope no one heard that. YouTube, there was nothing happening. Spotify, nothing happened.
It was just the chair.
Yeah, it was just the chair. It happened to make some sort of rhythm. But yes, we are back. And to be fair, first question on this one, it's same producer?
No.
Yeah, there's a few different things on this one.
No.
And another one. Okay, sorry, go on. Who produced it?
So this was produced by Kydro, you know, Mancunian. I've been working with Kai since 2019. Yeah, he produced half of the project as well. So
okay.
It's like half and half.
Oh,
Maybe there's like 1 or 2 beats that are from outside, but half and half is Eli Locks and Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that ties in with the actual album title, which is obviously 1685 to 0161. It starts with
production from home and production.
And
Oh, is it split half and half? The first half.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, pretty. Not entirely, but yeah, most of the first half is produced by my boy Eli Locks, and then most of the second piece is produced
which is the 0161, which comes from this.
But it's like it's very, you know, internal.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it is as was the journey.
Yeah,
you know, like as was the whole.
Yeah, but that's the title 0161 too is mainly the production. You know what I mean? Yeah, mainly about the production. Yeah.
Okay, I just think at this stage of like your career at this point, you are just sitting on a very strong body of work. It's so
keep saying every time
good.
I hear this, it blows my mind. It's like, yo, come on, let's go work. Like, yo.
I don't know how we just like listened to that in silence. Like everyone was kind of like
Clenched,
tense,
like,
and, kind of clenched, just like.
I noticed that even with me.
You're like. I think your voice is very iconic. There's something to your voice, and I'm not just saying this to gas you up and just, it's not a compliment. It's just facts.
Thank you.
Your voice is so distinct that I know exactly who's rapping when I hear it. I know exactly who's singing when I hear it. Like, I know your voice already, and it's absolutely amazing. That track made me feel so many different kind of ways, and you have a thing with your voice where it's really hard to describe because there's a clarity that comes in. A lot of the time, I listen to tracks, so like. The first half of that track, I don't know if this is going to come across bad or not.
No, go on.
The first half of this track, I'm like vibing. Hey, what's the plan? No, I'm not really like I'm hearing the lyrics, but I'm not listening. Your voice has a command, which is like, no, listen to what I'm saying. It's the delivery of it.
Delivery with intent.
It's crystal clear. So it's like you're saying things. It's like a conversation. It's almost rude to not listen.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is or what that means, but I think it's very powerful.
Yeah, and actually, just to piggyback off that statement.
No compliment, just facts.
Yeah, like off that statement, I want to ask you, because obviously that song had collaborations, and maybe this is a controversial question, but I can only ask it to rappers, because I'm not a rapper, obviously.
Right.
Is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as bodying someone on your track or on a track, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
Oh no, I don't know what the question was.
Like bodying someone.
Please elaborate.
So bodying someone is like just totally eclipsing what they did. That's bodying.
Yeah.
That's a controversial question.
Yes.
Nah, as rappers, it ain't controversial, yo. Facts is facts. If I bodied you, I bodied you, man. Like, it's just...
Well, it's not intentional, is it?
It's not intentional, no. I mean, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is it intentional? Because sometimes you got to come harder
It is,
than that.
but it's not. But it is, but it's not. But, okay, with me...
Sorry for murdering you.
With me, if you come with your half-baked... It ain't gonna work here, bro. You know what I mean?
The way you're saying it direct to the camera.
I'm just saying.
I didn't mean to bring this side out.
Yes, you did.
It's not, bro. Like, it's not.
It's a competitive sport.
Yeah, like it's a contact sport. It's a blood sport, you know. So if you're coming with like weak bars, you know, and that's what you want to do, hey, that's what you want to do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
So then,
but just know that I'm gonna give my all.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you, because like I was gonna ask you, like, then how do you navigate the world of collaborations?
Okay, so with me, a lot of the times, I like sending the beat with my verse.
Okay.
If it's my
song... So you want to
song,
lay down first?
If it's my song,
yeah.
I wanna set pace. I wanna set the pace to be like, okay, this is the pace we're going at. So, you know, it's up to you what you do with that.
Yeah,
bro.
if you think you can hold up.
So you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do, because now you've heard the entire song. You heard the hook, you heard my verse.
Yeah.
And there's an open space there for you to do whatever. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times when it's my song, that's what I do. You know?
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't like being the whole thing of like just sending an empty beat or just a hook with the beat. Like, yeah, do something that's like, man, you're not giving me much direction. You know what I mean?
Like, have you? Like, I know you said you don't really change your bars, but if you sent out a track, someone spat something, and you're like, damn, I came up short. I need to re-record my vocals. I need to.
Sorry,
I'm bringing the rapper side. I know.
Never ever have I switched a verse because someone killed it. I've never done that.
I'm just wondering. I'm not. It's just.
This was amazing. This was so.
By the way, it's not relation to the track. It's obviously got features, and it's just like.
No, I mean, I guess it's like okay. With me, it's like I don't believe in changing verses because say what you want to say.
I was meant to top it up.
Yeah, say what you want to say and mean what you say. You know what I mean? So with me, I follow the feeling of the song. I don't follow what you did. Like, okay, you might do something that's amazing or whatever, but whatever feeling I get from what you said or what you've done with the song, I'm gonna follow that feeling. I stay true to the feeling.
Yeah.
I don't stay, because a lot of people approach it like with ego and stuff, and then it ends up sounding like a battle track. Like, oh, bro, you're battling me on my own song. Like you're trying to, or battling me on a song. Like that's not what the song is about. Yeah. Unless we're doing like something like that, you know, like a back and forth of like, okay, we barring each other up or whatever. That's cool. But if we're doing a song, it's about the song. Yeah. So stay true to what the song makes you feel. And so, yeah, that's how I approach I approach music.
Yeah, that's nice to know that well.
Yeah, but I'm definitely bodying you niggas, yo. Like,
at the start of the pod, at the start of the pod, it was all humble. Now it's like no. Don't put me
That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
No, man, like I'm really excited for the music. Like, yes, I've had a chance to listen to some of it, which has been nice. And
yeah. So that was the last song on the album, and with that song, that's the very first song I recorded for the album, like the very first.
Okay.
Did you know about the album whenever you recorded that song?
Yeah, I already had the concept in my head.
Okay.
But in terms of lyrics, for other songs, I probably had like 5 verses or 4 verses. Because, okay, so when I started the process of recording this album, I was also working with my boy Flex, that you heard on the hook.
Yeah.
So Flex is my boy from Portugal, shout out Flex. But, you know, he's a Mancunian, you know what I mean? So we have a joint project as well, by the way. Flex, let's chop that shit, bro. Come on.
See, that's what I mean about the chamber.
Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we have an entire project, like 8 to 9 songs. You know what I mean?
All right, that's a nice body work.
And What's the Plan was supposed to be, I think it was either supposed to be Flex's song or for both of, you know, for the joint project or whatever. But when I did that and I heard it back, I'm like, nah, nigga.
This is mine.
Can I take this, bro? I'm taking this. And he's like, nah, I have it. You know what I mean? So I took that from our joint project that we're supposed to do. And yeah, so I just kept that in the tuck, and that set pace for everything else. And then I went back to doing the joint project, did that, and I came back to the song. Then I started from there.
Is it actually the outro to the album?
Yeah.
As it's set out like this?
Yeah, it's the outro. It's called What's the Plan? Because I'm talking about, you know, it's in the title, What's the Plan? Like, what is it that you're trying to gain from what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, what you're living. Like, what is it that you're trying to do, whatever. So if you listen to the verse, I'm saying exactly what I want to do, where I'm from, you know what I mean, my influences, and what was in my mind at that point in time is like, you know, I speak about my boy as well, how I remember that time speaking to him on the phone, literally exactly what he said, that's exactly what happened, you know. He called me about, you know, how life is tough and all of this thing, you know what I mean, like, the typical, hey man, life ain't it right now, you know what I mean, like, it's all of that stuff, and in that moment, I didn't even know what to say to him, you know what I mean, because I felt like I'm in there too, like I'm right there with you, you know what I mean, so it's kind of hard for me to uplift you when I'm not feeling uplifted at the moment, you know what I mean, so it was kind of that moment of like feeling like, damn man, will we ever like do it, like do it big, like will we ever be that, you know what I mean, like,
live your dreams,
live our dreams like that, like just questioning that as well, you know. So my music a lot of the times is just me debating with myself or having a conversation with myself, you know, and using exactly, you know what I mean, and that was like almost gonna be a title, Scatterbrain. That was another title I was messing with for the tape or whatever, you know.
No, man. But I do like the formation of it because, sorry, it's just my brain is thinking, okay, so the outro is actually the first song that started the whole project, but it ended up being the outro.
Yeah.
And in the body of work of an album, it's like you've completed it, but you're like, yo, so what's the plan?
Yeah.
It's like, did you not just do that? Like,
yeah. And when I did that, there was like a silence in the room. Like after I did that verse, you know what I mean? It was like a moment of like, you know, when you listen back to something and it's like, yeah, nah, just have it, bro. Yeah,
but I think every single stage of our lives, we're not asking ourselves what the plan is, then we've settled.
Right.
Yeah.
Things will get boring real quick, really, really quickly. So I think even if you keep on making it, you keep on reaching the goals, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? So I love
and I will say too,
so that's what I
like,
mean about playing it as an outro.
And I will say
so
about Flex as well, like big up to Flex, man, because like he's pretty much like the guy that helped me in terms of like just finding my confidence, like on the microphone and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he pushed me a lot during that joint project I speak about. You'll hear that, you know, it's kind of like it's like a prequel to this. You know what I mean? It's like you can hear even in the voice of like, okay, it was me tinkering with certain things or certain flows and whatever. Okay, trying to figure it out, trying to find my pocket. You know what I mean? And he, you know, he gave me that platform because he's pretty much like, yo, Flex is amazing, man. Like he sings, he raps, like he produces, like he's hard, man. You know, so he gave me that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, let's do this. You know what I mean? And don't worry, man. Just you know what I mean? He gave me that confidence. Like, hey, man.
Like was the confidence lacking because of insecurity, or was it imposter syndrome, or like what was the birth of it essentially?
It's a culmination of a lot of things, man. You know, in this life, it's like, you know, especially as a black man, it's like you're always conflicted. You kind of always have to ask yourself if you're worth it, you know. And it's kind of like as a black man from where I'm from and how, you know what I mean, how I came to existence, you know what I mean. And it's a lot of things, a lot of personal things. That's why I say music is very personal for me because it's about my life journey, you know what I mean. And I feel like a lot of black men, I can't speak for a lot of other people, but I can speak for where I'm from, you know what I mean? Because I know that a lot of us felt that way, you know what I mean? Or maybe probably still do feel like, you know, we're not worth it, we're not good enough, we're not supposed to be doing this, you know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be somewhere 9 to 5 in it, you know what I mean? And trying to, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, and you're not supposed to be this person that you think you're gonna be or whatever, you know? And it's because of a lot of things, you know, political strife, just, life in general for a black African, you know what I mean? Like it kind of brought me to, you know, that's pretty much what this album is that, you know, the existence of blackness in certain spaces, you know what I mean? And and just the mind of you know, a black man in the diaspora, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty much what it is. It
tells a nice journey, even like going back to the title.
That's pretty much
1685-0161.
That's pretty much what it is, man. And I feel there's a lot more too, because I feel like that's, you know, we grew up in a time where it was about like so a lot of our history was passed down to us via our grandparents, you know what I mean? Sitting around the fire, griots they call them, I think, you know, storytelling and you know, and in those stories you find a lot of lessons. There's a lot of lessons in them stories and stuff intertwined in there, you know. So I guess it's just a continuation of that. For me, that's what it is. Cause I know that when my kids are of age, they're gonna want to hear what you know. They're gonna want to hear this, you know. And when they hear it, I want them to hear, you know, honesty. I want them to hear like lessons. You know what I mean? Like, And
to be fair,
learning from. Okay, there's certain conversations I can't have with them at the moment. You know what I mean? And even if they get to a point where we can have those conversations, I probably won't be the person that I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want them to kind of, if they want to know, oh, how was Daddy like in his 20s? They could just go back to this and listen to that. You know what I mean? And be like, damn, okay, so when you said this, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, and it can kind of give them perspective, you know.
So it's like, when I say when I was your age, no, actually come check this out.
Yeah,
when I was your age,
this is what I was doing.
No, but
you know?
like at the same time, the bigger scope, it's quite interesting. So it brought me to a different conversation that we had, which is about the generational blessings. Like certain things are not necessarily traced, but like maybe in whatever year's time, your son's gonna look, you know what? Dad followed his dreams or whatever. It's like your kids are gonna be like, oh yeah, you followed the dreams. That's kind of like a generational. It's not like traumatic, but it's something that's going to give you fuel. It's like, you know what, he was brave enough to do this, so why shouldn't I?
Exactly.
Like, going back to the insecurity and the bells that were stopping you, as you're saying, the flags helped a lot. Yo, shout out to you. We haven't met, don't know you, but if you know me, I mean well.
Yeah.
I mean well, but like, no, because like it resonates. No, man, I can't wait for it to drop. Do you have a date or do you have anything in mind?
No, I don't have a date, unfortunately. But okay, so my entire mindset, I guess, going into it, it was more so me wanting to do a trilogy. That's pretty much what it was. It's like, okay, I want to warm up to this. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just give it to the people like that. You know, I felt like this is too good. You know what I mean? Like, it might just fly over their heads. But at least if they can hear some of the things I did prior this, you know what I mean? It can
so you're kind of dropping these nuggets.
Yeah, kind of dropping these little, you know what I mean? Well, with Last Word Band, it was just too fire for me to just keep it.
Yeah, it had to be a 110.
This has to just, you know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to be a freestyle anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm like, should I save it for that? I'm like, nah, man, just, you know.
Do you have tracks within this that are like precious to you as like singles that you kind of want to push out to people as like one-offs?
Yes, but
standalones.
But like, okay, so out of this project, I've released 2 songs on YouTube. I released a song called Today and a song called 1685 to 0161, you know. And
which is
yeah, but I'm taking them down, you know.
It's a good job that I wasn't like...
no, I'm definitely taking them down.
You're ready to give it to the people.
No, I mean, I did videos for them, but I just feel like, you know, I didn't do them justice. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was a rushed job for what I want this to be. You know,
interesting.
I might take it down, I might not. You know, I'm still kind of.
If you think it was a rushed job.
Yeah, I think it was a rushed job, and I feel like there's more because I had so many ideas for those songs. You know. But
so you don't redo bars, but you can redo the execution.
The execution of how I.
I'm just glad I wasn't involved.
You know?
No, I'm joking. No offense to you, dude. I'm joking. I mean, no harm.
And okay, so even with the Last Word Bender, the first bar is I took the mask off. So me taking the mask off, you know, when I shot those videos was with the mask. You know what I mean? And stuff like that.
That's a double, triple entendre, you know.
And I just, you know, if you know, you know. But yeah, I just felt like, you know, it's not, that wasn't me, you know what I mean? Like, even the visuals and everything, you know, like, nah, it wasn't me, man.
But would you say it was you artistically expressing?
Yes.
So
but I feel like
that is you.
No. I feel like it was more so me. How do I say this in a way that's not gonna? I feel like it was me not being true to myself. You know what I mean? It was me being a yes man, right? It was me like, yeah, this is, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is, But in all honesty, it's like, that's not really what I wanted to do.
Yeah. We're working together. I don't want none of that.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, that's what I mean by taking off the mask. It's like, this is me coming into myself, like I said. This is me realizing all of these things. This is me realizing all of these things of like, you know, I just don't know how to say this without actually mentioning, you know, what went down with the situations, you know. But it wasn't really good, you know. So it just kind of tainted that situation.
So you don't even look at them the same.
It's
like it takes
me back to that time, and then when I look back at that time in hindsight, you know, hindsight is 2020.
Take them down.
You know, and it's kind of like realizing that in actual fact, like I did have other ideas for them songs, you know, but I just kind of went with this because I felt like I owed it to said person that did the video. You know what I mean? I felt like, you know, I just kind of need to do this because we're doing this. And it was just me pushing it because it's like, I want to get things out there. It's like, I wasn't really in my right mind. I was just doing it because it's like, I want to get things out there and okay, whatever, it's dope.
Is it also the element of this person knows best or like?
Yeah, there was an element of like, okay, it was just me taking the back seat on my own project. You know what I mean? Just me kind of like, okay, sitting back and just saying yes because it's like, I want something out there. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want anything out there. And at this point, I'm not finding anybody to work with. And this is my boy, I thought, you know. So it's like, okay, let's just do this or whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, it just wasn't good, man. It just wasn't good, and I feel like that's what kind of led to the.
Right. There was a lot of compromise.
Yeah, a lot of compromise
in
in the
one point just
creation.
exploded.
At one point, it just kind of came to just kind of imploded because of the dishonesty, I guess, from both sides, and artistic dishonesty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of like, okay, we're just doing it because we just want things out there. You know what I mean? While we were not giving it enough
I think anything
time.
that has your name attached to it, or anything that's just a piece of your work, deserves.
Yeah,
to be
so
something
that's
which
what I'm
you
saying.
can
I just
fully stand
I feel like I'm just gonna take them down. You know what I mean? Because of that. And the songs were not really out. The videos are out, but the songs are not out anyway. Like even on iTunes or whatever.
So people may have to wait a little bit for this one, but when it is released, we can also show.
Yeah, no, I mean now I'm working with Nate now. Feel me?
There we go.
So yeah, we're gonna take our time with it, man. You know what I mean? And we
every
already
time,
spoke
isn't
about that. You know, like we're gonna take our.
You are watching the handshakes, like, oh wait, you go top, you do the thumb, and then.
And then
No, to be fair, like here's a funny thing. It's funny because the thumb thing is actually Southern African.
yes. Most people they just kind of
Yeah, and then
yeah, but with us it's more so the
like this. That's like if it's actually South African.
It's Southern African.
It's Southern African.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say that.
Southern
I'm just gonna hug you off because I don't
It's
know.
just fun. You can't go wrong. Just don't explode.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Explode if you want.
But yeah, so with this newfound like, I guess me coming into myself, it's like also meeting Nate and learning a lot just about myself as well. It's like I feel like I'm in a place where I'm trying to be as honest as I can in terms of what I want out of a situation or out of this project or my projects or whatever I'm doing that has my name attached to it. It has to be in line with what I see for it or what I want, what's possible, and like. Because at the end of the day, I can want something, but if that thing is not possible, then we can find like a middle ground of like we cannot hit that, but let's at least hit this. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Whereas with the videos I dropped prior, it was more so anything. Like let's just do it. As long as it's got this and it's got that. Oh, this is sick. This is that. But it's like it just wasn't me, man. Not to say it wasn't sick. The videos are sick. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the videos are sick, but I just feel like it's not entirely me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's me at my lowest, you know what I mean? It's me like just doing anything for
In search of.
Yeah,
Okay. No, man,
but the videos are sick, man. Like they sick.
artistically sick.
They're not me.
Your image.
Yeah,
okay,
they're not me. And that's not the image I want out there for myself as an artist. Now that I'm coming into myself, I want it to be me.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of thinking about taking it down or not. So it's not like a stamp like I'm taking it down, but I'm still kind of thinking about that,
Okay, no, that's fine, because then the other question
But yeah, you can check it out while it's out there, you know what I mean? You can go have a look.
You might be lucky.
You might like it too.
Yo, I'm going to drop the episode soon as, just...
you might like it too, But yeah, the whole taking off the mask thing was me letting go of that part of me, of like having the mask on and hiding behind the mask. And playing a role instead of being myself, So I might just keep it there, or I might just take it off and drop it later as like, oh, I did this before I did this. You know what I mean? Like,
it is a timestamp of its own.
Yeah.
Drop a comment.
It's like that's where you were.
If it's gone, it's gone.
If it's gone, it's gone.
If you watched it?
If you watch it,
Yeah, lucky you.
let us know what you think.
Yeah. No, man. Okay. Should we end it on music, or we're trying to discuss?
Yeah.
Did I forget something? Oh, actually, how do you gauge? Sorry, because you don't rewrite. How do you gauge when a song is finished, or when a verse is finished? Do you have room for like, I know this is going to be a hook, or do you write the hook as well?
So I never used to be So with the project, okay, this is what I meant about, Flex kind of doing his thing with me and kind of helping me, assisting me find that, he did all the hooks on the project that we did together, like all the hooks he did. So I kind of learned from seeing him, watching him, like, okay. He usually starts with the hook as well, with the hook. And once the hook is there, it kind of gives you direction where to go lyrically on the verses and stuff. Whereas with me, it was more so just, I'm gonna write 24 bars.
Yeah.
A song, typically 16 bars a verse, you know what I mean? But with me, I was just writing. Like I would write till I can't write no more. So I write 48 bars. It's like, bro, that's like 2 songs. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of learned, like, okay, you need to kind of relax.
Then does it become 2 songs, or do you chop?
So yeah, a lot of the verses, a lot of the songs I chopped. It was literally one long verse, and then I just kind of okay, I'm gonna stop this one here and then make it the first verse. And then the hook, I kind of slowly, gradually got into it. Funny enough, like I just kind of. Sometimes I'd pull the hook from the verse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll write the entire verse, and then there's something that's kind of catchy that I said, and I just pull that out, and then, play with it a bit more and stuff.
Because that's what I was going to ask you, because the way you write, you say you draw a lot from feeling, but then if you put a hook, that kind of puts a boundary around what you can discuss or where you can take the song.
Yeah, but that's what I do now, because I feel like it not a boundary as such, but direction, because like I said, with this one it was more so just scatterbrain. I was just writing, letting my feelings out there, or just putting whatever, as long as I felt it, I'm writing it, and then I'll fix it later, or maybe I'll not fix it, but like separate it, like okay, take this, put it there, okay, half of this verse is gonna go here, or whatever, just But now I start with the hook, you know what I mean? I find the melody first, I find that and then once I find that, it kind of gives me direction, like, okay, we're writing about this, which is like me challenging myself now.
Let's go into that world now. And
it's kind of this like nugget in the middle that just shoots up.
Now I'm challenging myself to like, okay, can you stick to this topic for like 3 verses, 2 verses, whatever, like how long can you stretch this out, Whereas with this one, man, I could write forever because I'm just writing about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. There's no actual...
So it's like your journal.
It's more like a journal with this one, you know what I mean? And some of the songs are cohesive or sound like, by chance. It's not even like me actively like doing it. It was it just kind of came to me and I just wrote it. Whereas now I'm literally intentional. Intentional about, okay, now what do I feel now on the song? Or I don't ask myself that. I just sit there, listen to the beat, whatever comes to mind.
This is where it takes me.
This feels like, oh yeah, I remember. You start going through the memory bank, you know what I mean? And then whatever melody I get at that moment, write the hook. Once I have the hook, if it sticks, then I continue. If the hook doesn't stick, kind of just move on.
Or maybe it's going to be applied elsewhere.
Yeah, move on to the next song, you know what I mean? I don't spend too much time on like something I can't figure out, because it's like at the end of the day, I don't have time for that, If it's not there, it's not there, you know what I mean? I'm not now going to fake it, like, try to stretch things that don't need to be.
Even that's like a tricky thing to understand, is when to let something go as an artist, because you can spend so much energy trying to fix one thing or trying to change one track that you're missing out on so many other things. So when to let something just die is a really hard thing to know when to do. It's true.
Let it die, man. Like,
but sometimes it's not even just let it die, it's kill it.
Yeah.
Because all it's doing is absorbing so much. It is.
What have I
Some
done
projects
here?
do that. You have to just
leave
kill
it.
them.
Just leave it. Keep going.
Yeah,
you just have to
do
kind
something
of
different.
just keep going, because that's how, that's how I got to complete this one. I just kept going.
Yeah, by letting go of so many other things.
It's actually 2 projects, because I probably wrote 22 songs, maybe 23.
So what, 7 got?
Yeah, not cut, but that's going to be the first.
All right.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're going to be the Lucy's.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So you've been chopping up a trilogy too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do a trilogy, you know what I mean? Because a lot of with this one, I told a lot of stories, you know what I mean? So I wanted to be like a story you can follow, not more so like sonically, but just what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You can kind of follow the story and track it until you get to the third, and you're like,
it's like an autobiography, isn't
it? That's pretty like a diary, like I said. That's pretty much what it is. It's like just the story, like I said, of a young black man in the diaspora, coming of age, you know what I mean, trying to figure it out, you know what I mean, and that's pretty much what it is. And things that happen in between, and how I feel about it.
And 0161.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
and then on the third one, that's where I'm doing a lot of the Zulu stuff, a lot of things in my language, you know what I mean? It's like that's like
Let's
I said,
put it in reverse.
me coming into myself, me kind of finding myself and like my authentic self, I guess. And and even musically, it just sounds more, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
We don't spoke a lot about music, so let's actually talk about music that you actually digested rather than writing this time around. What you been listening to lately? See if you say your own work. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna react.
I've been listening to The Last Word Bender over and over. I'm that type of guy. I'm sorry.
Is it track of the week this week?
Yes, it literally is. Like, the track of the month, yo. Like, okay, with me, it's like, when I like a song, you know, people that live with me know this. When I like a song, I rinse that. I play that shit over and over until they know the lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, you know. So that's how I do it. But yeah, right now, it's, you know, the Last Word Bender, because it's kind of like coming back to it now. I'm coming back to it with a fresh perspective. So I have different feelings when listening to it now.
No, to be fair, I'm enjoying even your excitement over it.
Like, yeah, like even just watching the video, like, yo, this started like a year ago, and look where we're at now, you know? Like, it's just all of those thoughts, like, and thoughts of just excitement, and like, I can't wait till this is out, people see it, whatever. So, but other than that, let's see, what have I been listening to?
You know what? We're gonna drop a snippet of the Last Word Bender for the peoples on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Give us a couple of days. Or maybe it'll be out when this episode comes out.
Probably.
Who knows?
Probably.
But yeah.
What have I been listening to? Oh, have you heard the J. Cole's verse?
J. Cole's verse with Yachty.
Bro.
No, I haven't, because...
Oh, you guys are sleeping, man.
No, it's
we should react to that now, actually.
I have been sleeping.
We need to react to that right now. That's
Should we play it now?
That's what we need to do.
Okay.
That's what we need to do.
Fair enough. We're going to listen to the cast, and we'll be back. And wait, what's the song?
Damn, what is the song? Secret, damn.
Okay.
Secret Recipe. The Secret Recipe, I think.
All right,
that's
cool.
what, that's
we'll
what
be back. Yeah. We're going to go listen to the song. We'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Huh. It's Jermaine Cole. Jermaine. You know Jermaine? Jermaine Cole?
Yo.
You know, anyways, we're back.
I'm saying.
And decent song. Well, yeah, decent song, but I'm sorry, I cannot listen to the first verse.
It was a weird start.
You know what I like about the first verse? Actually, before you get on on what you don't like, can I say what I like about it first? Let's start with love, right? Yeah. What I like about the first verse is, if you peep what he did, like just on a writing level, how his voice was high pitched, and he's talking a lot about, you know, I guess like, you know, how would you put it, woke stuff, I guess. And then he switched up his voice when he started talking about getting someone to kill niggas, all of that stuff. Like, I thought creatively that was sick.
Oh yeah, no, like creatively that's...
The offbeat, or him rhyming offbeat as well, I figured that. It's like, it's not what he usually does. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no.
for the fact that he stepped in that lane and
Yeah.
he actually made sense, you know what I mean? Like, bar after bar, it was like, okay, I was following everything, and yeah, I thought it was pieced.
I think this is a situation where it would have been really interesting to see whose verse came first, like who came first with that and who set the pace of
I
that
think
there.
Lil Yachty came first.
I think he made the mistake of sending the beat with his verse on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna speculate and say he did it first.
I think he made
and
that
one of
mistake.
the reasons why, I'm just gonna hypothesize, I like doing that, it's actually fun. But yeah, I think Lil Yachty sent it first. And the reason why he did all this, or he was done this way, is to also convince Cole of the concept.
He knew that he wanted
to sell it to Cole.
Yes.
It's like, because to be fair, I feel like even Preem does something like that, whereby it's like, let me hear your verse before I actually make a beat for you.
Yeah.
But typically it's like, I'm not a rapper, but it's like the artist or the producer play the beat, and then you're gonna rhyme after that, rather than the reverse.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this one, the first rapper, he has improved, I'll give him that. In terms of artistic, everything else, also, my ego got a bit poked because it's a one take. I'm like, oh, interesting. Well, it's just 2 takes. There's a transition.
Yeah, there's a transition. The pacing of it, so like visually and the audio to the visuals is really jarring. Like it's I don't know, like it keeps you hooked in there because it is ever so slightly off. It's just ever so slightly.
It's almost like hooking you over question marks.
Yeah. But then there's moments where they... So this feels really theatric. It's super simple, super theatrical, and I love the moments where... Because they're performing to the camera. It's not one of those videos where you act like the camera doesn't exist. It's all directly relating to the camera. And so there's moments where they're performing and like they hold lines, they forget words. So I really like seeing someone's character come through like that, as well as
It's a shit we're
what that is.
doing. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Mama, I know I cursed. But yeah, no, I'm joking. It's a decent song, but I feel like I would skip the first minute every time I listen to it.
Jermaine, listen to it again. And
Cole.
Jermaine did his thing in terms of, I mean, it's Jermaine. And
it's relentless.
like, and also, I just also maybe
Going back to bodying.
I just saw it.
Yeah.
I watched it happen.
Yeah, like that's how.
I feel sorry for our
someone left in a body bag. Someone left in a body
You
bag,
just
and it
witnessed
ain't Jermaine.
What bodying is. That's what it is.
But you know what? Props to Lil Yachty though, because he's improved coming from what. Or how, to be
But
fair.
props to him because, you know, for Cole to write a verse like this was because Yachty sent the beat and the concept or whatever. So props to him for bringing out Cole in this manner. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny though, because Cole still shoots back at that very thing. Talking about all these people.
But you know, he's done that before though. He's done that before on the 21 Savage. He has a song with 21 Savage. I think he said that before, similar to, you know, don't call me out for a feature, because if you do, just know it's a body bag. And, and it's always been that.
There, like, it's about me. It's about me.
He's bodying everybody. He's on a run with these feature verses. Like every feature he's done in the past year or so, he's just been killing.
I would have enjoyed this song more if it had 21 Savage on, in terms of how we would feel, because both of them have kind of transformed.
What I didn't like about Yachty's verse,
from completely different worlds, but similar. It's like I feel like 21 Savage and Lil Yachty are the complete opposite, in the sense of they actually balance the scale. I don't know how to make it make sense, because 21 Savage is so savage. And Lil Yachty is so boldy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does in my head.
I feel like with Yachty on this verse, what I didn't like about this verse is like, I thought it was very artistic, like I said, you know. I thought he had the right idea, you know. But I feel like execution-wise, you know, there's a lot of mistakes that he did there, you know. You didn't have to, you know what I mean? Like, I guess you see how Cole was so comfortable.
Yeah.
But when if you go back and listen to Yachty, there was a
he wasn't in his bag. He's not in his bag.
In that, especially the first like 8
he's
bars.
Trying to get used to the bag.
It's like he even got to a point of...
Does everyone have to be so polished to the point of, like, it's kind of relatable though. So you would be.
It's not about being
but
polished.
he's improved though.
Like we said,
this
he's
is what
improved.
I mean. So I think it's about appreciating the improvement. But of course, like, they're on totally different levels. And it's acknowledged in this note. He's not trying to act
If he
he's
did
on the
this,
same level
if he
as
did
J.
this
Cole.
by himself, he would have had more props.
Yeah.
If he didn't put Cole on this, he would.
But the fact that he could is a flex in itself.
It's a flex, but at the same time,
But it's almost like a cop-out for higher reach.
Yes.
But it's funny
like
that
a cop-out.
Cole
It's like
actually discusses that. Like, some of them ask me to jump on because they want to elevate their numbers.
FaceTiming me, they see the face of time.
Yeah, because they want to elevate their numbers. When they see the numbers are not like Drake, then they look at me
Take what you get.
It's like, I'm Cole, take what you get. So basically,
But also that was a flex on
did.
Cole's thing, because it's like Cole does, every time he features on one of these songs, their streaming numbers go up. Not quite the Drake effect, like you said.
Yeah, not the Drake, because it's not
still Cole. He's still top 3.
Because, I mean, Jermaine talks to the people.
He's still top
not
3.
to the numbers.
And also, J. Cole's improved as well. I'm going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
J. Cole's improved as well. Like, the way he wrote this, it was like, I feel like this is what he's been trying to say for the past year.
He's comfortable in his skin.
Yeah, he's comfortable being who he is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like he's heard a lot of criticism about, the whole
I was gonna
being
ask you about
woke
that.
and trying to, trying
Also
to
not
be
even
that
working
rapper.
not working with other producers, because previously J. Cole would not, like, just his album, J. Cole, no features, no one produced it.
He did everything himself.
Everything was just here. Yeah. So that's what I mean in these ones, because obviously now he's getting like features, working with other people. It's like now
putting
actually
him in another bag.
Yeah.
Like it's making his style even better.
Yeah. So it's actually improving.
He had a ceiling, I feel like, when he was
Wait, is this someone's track of the day? Like, how did you get here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Sorry for the mic. Sorry.
Yeah, no, so because I was thinking, well, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Yes, so...
Verse of the week for
Yeah.
me. Verse of the week for sure.
Okay.
I don't think I've heard a better verse except for my verse, of course.
Yeah.
The last word bender, come on, yo.
No, you would have been the soundtrack, but I feel like it would have been too biased.
You'll hear it
and
yourself.
it would have been conditioning because I've been editing it.
Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of
outside of that, this is definitely one of those verses, man. Like he went in on this.
Yeah, he did his thing. My track of the week, actually, it's somewhat an album. I'm just gonna say the song "God" by Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm. He was bumping that.
It's to be fair, it's one of my favorite albums. Damn. Yeah. I really love that album. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, me saying I really love that album has no relation to the other albums. Yeah. Just read the statement as a standalone. Mm-hmm. I really love that album. It resonates, something different. It's it's one of those albums. And as far as that track, God.
Why that track though?
Why that track? It's a confirmation bias.
Go on.
If you listen to that song, and basically it's like, accept who I am because I'm made by the gods and this is what they were like. They had their own personalities. I'm not saying I'm a god, by the way, because that can sound blasphemous, but that's a different subject. But yeah.
We're all God. We can definitely be average.
There you go. So it's like, my behavior, it's what gods were like. Yeah, they're like, they're like a couple of tunes here and there. It's
maybe blessed.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
blessed,
it's that song. It's different. Every time it just makes me, actually motivates me. Yeah, it is on the Zen playlist. Nice. I feel like I'm cheating low key because most of the songs that I choose are from the Zen playlist, which
that's
is
not cheating. That just means it's listened to.
That's what you listen to.
Yeah, that's usually my bag. Yeah, but so it's even this. I was gonna start listing all the track lists, saying this song is different. But it's a dope album, and if I had to pick a song, I'm not sure. It depends what day I'm in, but today it's God.
Right.
Okay. I'll take that.
What about you?
And I always have to go to the phone. But that's always going to be the case.
You never do your homework.
I always do my homework. I'm just not good with retaining track names and stuff. So I have 2.
Oh, okay. It's usually me. Like I had a whole album, I had to narrow it down.
I think I've needed 2 this week. 2. I have needed 2. And one of them is Yellowman. Zunga Zunga. I love that track so much. I've just been listening to a lot of reggae recently.
Okay.
The drum pattern in reggae music just does something. It like itches a scratch inside my brain that is just so necessary. I just can't really.
Is it tied into the roots? Is it tied into the roots?
My roots.
Yeah.
I would say I can't really debate that.
Because reggae is like heartbeat. That's what it's mimicked after, isn't it? Like
but there's really harsh, there's really harsh beats as well that match. So it feels like it's constantly heart beating, but they do so much.
No, of course, yes.
But
I'm saying I feel like that's what made reggae like what it is. It's like it speaks to the soul. You know what I mean? Yeah, it speaks to the soul. So.
But there's just been an itch which has needed scratching, which reggae has been the only thing possible. Do you know, like a long back scratch with a little hand on it? It's like, honestly,
like the one that makes your eyes go funny. That's how I'm not gonna do nothing in the face. But that's like when you're cleaning your ear.
And then there's another track which is called "Do It Again." By Shinchiro.
So scratch it again.
Do it again. But I just want to get the name right. Shinchiro Yokota. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And it's just funky as hell. I just need a bit of funk. After you've scratched the itch that's been scratched with reggae,
it's like,
it's go time, it's work, isn't it? Yeah. So like the pace of it's really, really quick.
Right.
There's very few lyrics, which is another one of those things that I tend to go for. And the
Don't
beat
like
just makes you...
Yeah.
No, I love bars. Every now and then.
Right.
And then the vast majority of the time, I need to hear nothing because my brain's already... This is too loud, isn't it? It sounds like you're just on a train and there's lots of voices being heard. Yeah. So first week I've got 2 tracks, I think.
Yeah.
First time I've had 2 tracks.
Yeah, to be fair, I should have asked you at the start how your week was. There's a lot of things I should have done. Yeah.
There's a lot of things we all should have done.
Yeah. But no, I was going to ask you how your week was because we didn't really fully catch up in between because it sounded like a bit manic and busy. And
I'm just going to keep it at that. Yeah, the week's been busy. But you know what? Like, good health.
Continue blessings.
Happy, feeling good, good health.
Yeah. Actually,
Chaos.
have you listened to Nas and Damian Marley?
Yes, the distant relatives.
Yeah, distant
No,
relatives.
you can't give me the name. I need to hear the thing.
The
Highly
Fire,
likely.
the joint album they did.
Yeah, the joint album they did, Nas and
2008, I think, somewhere.
Oh, I'm
No,
gonna say
after
no
that.
then.
You know
Fire.
what? Please listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, a recommendation. And that's another
Yeah.
thing we rarely have in the music moments.
Fire.
It's like a
Yeah.
recommendation of a track. Okay.
Well, to be fair, the playlist is a recommendation.
But like,
Oh, to us?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah,
it
do
might
check it
itch
out.
the scratch and also add a bop at the same time.
Oh, yes, it will. I mean, the
Yeah,
Prince is
they
there.
did something with that album.
It's a classic album in
They
my
did
opinion.
something
I
with
need
that
to get that on vinyl.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of
It's-
people don't talk about it when they bring up Nas. They
Yeah,
never
they-
bring
I
up
didn't-
that
I didn't
album.
even know. I didn't even
It's
know.
They
that was a
never, and
recommendation.
he did.
Question for you. Oh, we're supposed to be closing soon. We're probably going to be a 3-hour pod.
Hey,
but I
go
was going to
on.
say The Firm or Distant Relatives.
Distant relatives.
Okay.
I haven't heard. The thing is with the Firm, it's like it was before my time. It was before my time. It's good, you know what I mean. But it's like it didn't impact
Resonate
me
as
as
much.
much as Distant
Yeah,
relatives.
anyways, we're going to cut it here. And if you tuned in thus far, thank you for joining us. And Subz, where can they find you and what's coming through in the pipeline? Even though
So
we discussed the music.
with me, music is just a lot more music coming. Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, months, years to come. You know, check me out, YouTube, Instagram. I'm there. You know.
And so we're gonna drop Spotify link, YouTube and Instagram, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but now, my G, thank you for joining me. This
Appreciate
is
you,
the
bro.
part 2, and leave me hanging. I'm just gonna hang on.
I was coming back, you know what I mean?
See?
Double back, you feel me?
I'm just gonna hang on. But now, for real though, thanks for joining us, and
Yeah,
it's
man.
been nice to see it go full circle in a space of
Yeah.
6 months.
Thank you guys
I'm
for
definitely
having
going
me.
to go
man.
back and watch episode 6 again just for
Yeah.
extra realization of the
Context,
journey.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, thank you guys for having me, man. Honestly, like I appreciate you guys having me here. You're doing some great work, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I appreciate the platform and I appreciate having good energy. You know,
Yeah.
All is
around me,
welcome,
so
and as long
thank you, man.
exactly
Thank you.
the energy part. But if you tuned in to the goodbyes and farewells, do like, comment, and subscribe. While you at it, tell us your track of the day.
Yeah,
Please do.
that would be great.
That being said, peace, love, and wisdom. We out.
Nice.